what do you plan to do about it? Every class should end that way because it's about you ultimately. And you're processing the information you just received. When you roll, you don't necessarily become a better fighter. You realize where you need to work. You can go back, micro drill, fix it, come back, roll some more, see if it's any better. So it's the ultimate pressure test. What'd you do well?
I worked my guard tonight, my open guard and close guard.
Good.
And
Aggressively?
yes, sir.
Good.
Yes, sir. Try to track from different positions.
Good.
And then I learned. Mike showed me a really good snap down. When you're trying to hit the ankle,
Yeah.
snap down and go under.
Good.
What I'll do with this, practice it over on a couple different people, different body types.
You guys, Mike wrestled a lot, Gay wrestled a lot. All of you have something to give, so you can be the teacher in a moment. Everybody can be the teacher. Sometimes somebody observes something or gives you something it's just priceless. So it's good to mention it and say thank you, you know. But sometimes when you give it away, you don't know, so that's good. What'd you do well?
I think I still wrestled pretty well, even though it wasn't as strong with everyone in this class.
Yeah, a little bigger.
They're all a little bigger.
boys, yeah.
But I was still trying to find my openings and shoot.
Good.
And I failed like almost every time.
It's okay.
Yeah.
The way to learn shots is to fail, and then work your sit-outs.
Right.
And keep circling it. It takes 4 or 5 tries usually to finish somebody. What'd you learn?
That it's really hard to take someone down if you don't have the correct techniques. So you really have to make sure it's all fine-tuned.
It's very technical.
Yeah.
All right. What are you going to do with that?
Just keep scrambling, keep working on my shots.
Good. Michael, what did you do well tonight?
I did well on working on speeding up and slowing down today, especially with my passes and top positions. And like scrambling helped because I was able to move and then establish position. And
That's what our role is about, right?
yeah,
Fast, slow, fast, slow, fast, slow. Good. What'd you learn?
and I learned that I need to add a little bit more of the transitions between fast and slow for my passes.
Yeah.
Because once I get past, I do well like just regular scramble.
Yeah.
But when the scramble is within the context of guard, I only go fast, and I think that's
Impatience, maybe?
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. What are you going to do with that?
I'm just gonna keep on working guard passes and transitioning between fast and slow.
Yeah.
And finding a grip, establishing it, and taking advantage of its stuff.
What'd you do well?
I think it just flowed.
Did you get a counter takedown tonight?
I did.
All right. Yeah. Good for you.
Yeah.
A little something new, Mike.
I was kind of hunting for it with
Yeah.
a couple different people because I rolled with them enough times to kind of know their style a little bit. So that made me feel good that I could kind of understand what I needed to look for. Yeah, I think I just try to see what people were giving me to work with.
So you made these decisions in advance and waited until the opportunity presented itself?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Weird how that works. What did you learn
I'm on my toes a lot.
Yeah.
And just watching myself roll, I saw my legs kind of not, they're just kind of flopping around sometimes, especially like when I'm in guard. So every time I saw him doing that, I was like, all right, be mindful of where they need to be.
You're very flexible, so that means you can do whatever you want, which is bad.
Yeah.
Sometimes your feet don't have purpose, your knees don't have purpose, so that's good. Work on that. Short people try to get taller. Tall people try to get shorter. Be yourself. Find the techniques that work for you and your size, and then work nicely. Some techniques are for you and some aren't. That's how it is. In judo, we have a great deal of different throws because there were a lot of different body sizes and types. Right? And I have a friend who is on the Icelandic Olympic team, and he has 2 throws. It's good enough to get in the Olympics with 2 throws.
As long as they're
But he
awesome.
has about 60 setups for it. Wow. Just back and forth. So pretty interesting, But he only has 2 throws. And the second one's only because the first one didn't work. So that's good. What'd you do well?
Oh, I think just moving, being more aggressive with my guard,
Good.
not just kind of get stuck sitting there.
Yeah.
What I learned is just kind of working on my grips, being more aggressive too, with comparing the grips to striking and
Yeah.
whatnot.
Good. They're like combinations,
No.
1, 2, 3. Same idea.
Grip fighting works in guard too.
Hey, here's news. Works everywhere.
Yes.
If you can touch each other, you can grip fight.
What I learned through pressure was go first. Don't wait to counter a grip, initiate one, and then have a secondary, tertiary ready.
So having the initiative beats being in reaction. this works.
I already got
Sounds
you.
like something off his video,
Yeah.
doesn't it? That's a wonderful thing about training jiu-jitsu. This is a personification, or, well, it's a philosophy in action. You know, there's very few philosophies that have an active component, but this idea of giving way and using what's given to you, and taking what's given to you, is very different, you know, and you get to pressure test it and see how good your philosophy is. You know, if only they had philosophy class like this in college.
I just tried to stay present. I was tasked last week from my teacher to just try to be aware of what my partner is doing and not just what I'm doing. And so I think I did okay at that tonight. So as rudimentary as it sounds, what I learned, I don't think I've ever seen the 3-finger grip before.
Fantastic. I gave you the secret one.
Yeah, you gave me the secret tonight. So I'm gonna go home and work on that a little bit, and see what that does. Because I've never seen that before.
The reason for the 3-finger grip, guys, is the hands are the same size. So when you grip with this, you basically have the same size wedge. When you put the thumb in between the index and the middle finger, it makes a smaller hand on top. And if you notice, my hands are able to grip around more. So I'm able to get into a different gripping bone. So we use this for guillotines, we use this for body locks, chokes, all sorts of things. Also, I can tilt and make the edge of that wrist come out to put more pressure on it. So it just gives us a different way to grip, but you need to practice being able to do that. I practice this a ridiculous amount, but I really favor this grip. This is the way I grip people when I'm inside mount too, because it gives me a stronger grip, because they're gonna try to push that elbow out. When my thumb's here, you see what happens to it? It locks up a little bit sooner and puts pressure on it. Right here, I have a much greater grip, so it helps side mount a little bit. Wrestlers are all in.
Yeah, that completely replaced my gable grip.
Yeah.
That's all I ever used.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
like
Maybe it was a secret.
Replace that with that, and everything's better. It's like a Kool-Aid secret. Everything's better.
Well, good, practice that. Take it home, use it, pass it on to other people. Give the
I'll
secret.
credit it when I
Yeah, wasn't mine anyway.
What I did well was defending the leg locks.
Good, good.
That's been something I've been worried about every time I walk in here with most of these guys. But I felt like I did good with that. What I didn't do well was using my hips. You know, when I sprawl, my hips are great, but you know, you get on top, I tend to put all the weight down on my chest, my head, things like that. I'm like noticing it as they're escaping out. My son of a gun. And so what I'm going to do to work on that is just be mindful of it, get my hips down, and you know, work at home a little bit, moving, you know, on the ground some, and you know, just getting my hips down.
Hickson had a good term for this. It's to be a bag of water. You know how hard it is to pick up a bag of water with, you know, like leaves that's got water in it. You can't pick it up. So there's no firm place to grab a hold of it. So when you're in side mount, whenever they put pressure, your body rolls around it and fills the space instead of resist the pressure backwards. The more you resist, the harder the lever becomes. So if you just relax and roll around it or sink under it or come over the top of it, you'll find it's a lot easier to hold side mount. That's what I was doing to you, right? Every time you try to set up a new escape, I just roll under it over and under. So it makes him go through several escapes to try to get out. All right, guys. What I learned tonight is even after so many years of jiu-jitsu, still I love it. It's a great passion. It's very interesting how much it's progressed in the last 10 years. I'm very fortunate to work with you guys. What I learned is teach some things that you may overlook, like the 3-finger grip. You know, just because it's apparent to me doesn't mean it's apparent to everyone. So spend some time going over that. My action plan will be to see the places that maybe I'm not spending enough time, that I just have adapted to a subconsciously competent level I don't talk about. So that maybe will make me a better teacher with you guys. Cool.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us, John.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure. All right. The rest